How you doing, everybody? I'm Ken Bykoff, and welcome to the Peegs Postgame Live, Indiana. That was terrible. Let's talk about it. 87-78 losers to Louisville in Indianapolis on the lesser game of the two important games in Indy for the Hoosiers today. 87-78 in a game that I thoroughly did not enjoy to watch. And it's not because Indiana played poorly and dug themselves a 16-point hole right off the bat. They did. And they lost for multiple reasons that we're going to talk about. But that was just damn bad basketball by both teams. And I know this is me just being crotchety and old at this point, but a total of 65 three-pointers taken. There were not 65 open looks in this game. Louisville goes 13 of 31 from three. Indiana, 11 of 34 from three. Louisville takes 54 shots, 31 of those from three-point range. Indiana takes 63 shots, 34 of those from three-point range. Both teams took more than half their shots from three-point range. Now, I'm not sitting here screaming, let's talk about some mid-range shots and that kind of stuff. I'm talking about let's be a little bit more patient to find your shots. Louisville was able to speed Indiana up. Indiana did not keep their poise. Dug that hole early, ended up turning the ball over 13 times on the day. You had Louisville with 13 turnovers of their own. This was a bad basketball game. That also not a lot of defense being played, weirdly. You have 26 turnovers, 65 threes, and 165 points. That's college basketball. Right now, this was an AAU level, hyper level basketball that was played by one of the teams has great quickness, great athleticism, and one of the teams doesn't. And so that's kind of where we are. 812-393-2600 is the number. I want to hear from you. And I'm sure that you guys have plenty to talk about with this game. And so we'll get right to some calls because we got some right here. 3 of them already online. So first caller, if I have your name, where you're from, and what you got.
Hey, KB, Ryan from Round Lake calling back in. How are you, buddy?
Hey, Ryan, how are you?
Hey, good. First off, before we get the game, I want to give a shout-out. I got a good friend, Whitley County boy, serving in the Kentucky Air National Guard this weekend, drill weekend for them. So I want to give him a shout-out and thank him for his service. Guy I grew up with, played hoops with, tough, fierce competitor. So,
amen.
Just wanted to give him a shout out here as he's down there in Memphis this weekend. So praying for his safety.
All right.
Couple of observations, and I want to get your thoughts on a couple things. You tweeted it. I agree. First half, man, the shot selection was just atrocious.
It's brutal. It's absolutely brutal. There's a little bit of room, so we're going to take the shot. Doesn't mean it's a good shot, and that is absolutely frustrating to watch.
Yep. They showed some resiliency. I want to get your take on this, and I know it probably isn't conventional. Talking lineups a little bit. What if we struggled, especially in the first half, defensive rebounds, and that's going to be, I think an Achilles heel the whole year. What if you kind of scrapped it and threw a little wrench in it, and you go a lineup of Tucker, Conaway, Lamar, Dorn, and Sisley? What do you think about that lineup?
I'd like to see Dorn get a little bit more run. He I believe, is still on a minute limit in coming back from the foot injury, so that could be part of it, and he's working his way into the rotation. But he's one of the few guys that could go ahead and create off the bounce in a way that some other guys can't. So, I mean, it can't hurt, to say the least.
For sure. So this is your first of two shows, or I was texting my brother earlier. We weren't sure.
I'm doing two. Yeah, doing two. Yeah.
Is Fish calling both games?
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. He did this. He's going to do the post game. Then he's go over to Lucas Oil and do it again. He's going to be on the air for a total of about 12 hours. He said. So he's a legend.
Time and a half a day. Then I think.
Yeah.
What's your plans here in between the game after the show? Any snacks, meal spread, anything?
We're actually getting some Mother Bear's pizza. and we're gonna have that because I'm here in my home studio. There's people upstairs. It's my birthday today, and so then we've had some people over
Hey, happy birthday, my man.
for my birthday. We're gonna watch the ball game. But yeah, I'll be on the air afterwards after the football game as well.
Well, I'm going to keep my spirits up, cheering on the Hoosiers tonight. If we take a loss, I'm going to be down low, which makes me transition.
Yes,
Little
I
baby low
did.
down.
I have listened to it. It's not my style. But it had a nice beat to it. I felt like he was kind of mumbling a little bit more than I like, and I don't mind that. But that one, it's not my style. But I understand why that'd be a good hype song.
Good hype song. Hey, well, if I can stay awake here this evening, we'll catch you with the rest.
Trust me.
10 champs of crown.
That sounds good. I'm here for it.
Enjoy that pizza. Hope you got a birthday cake and some candles and ice cream to celebrate with your family.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
We'll see you.
All right, take care.
Bye-bye.
812-393-2600 is the number. Going to move on to our next caller. Caller, have your name, where you're from, and what you got.
Hey, I'm Ben from Columbus, Ohio. It's my son's birthday today. Actually, he turns 21. He goes to Ohio
fantastic.
State. So, split house here today. I think we didn't play. Take away that first 8 minutes, and we won that basketball game.
Sure.
But we beat a top 10 team in the country. I think
we scored 51 points in the second half against a top 10 team, so that is a positive. But you can't take away those first 8 minutes, to say the least.
No, you can't. But I saw some positives. I really don't like how we're just chucking up threes, and not taking the time, take shots, and find the open look.
Right. And the thing is, we saw that in earlier games this year where Indiana was doing a nice job of moving the ball, running their offense, and getting open shots. And that is something we haven't really seen. Well, we definitely didn't see today. And I understand partially why, because they got sped up by Louisville, but that's also something that you have to do a better job of and not get sped up. But it is a situation where, hey, you have to run your offense. And this is a veteran team that can be effective, but you have to have some poise as well, and that's something that I felt was lacking, especially at the start of the game. Oh, I think we lost our caller. Rats. All right, we'll go to our next caller. Hopefully he'll call back. Caller, have your name, where you're from, and what you got.
Hey, happy birthday, KB. It's Larry from Fort Wayne. How you doing?
Appreciate that, Larry. How you doing?
I'm doing great, man. Here we go. You ready?
Okay.
IU rolled into Indy to face Louisville's Crew. The Card shot fire at first, and we sort of just watched it go through. But hope isn't gone, no matter the bruise, because tonight in Indy, it's the Buckeyes who will lose. If the football gods smile and the Hoosiers stay stout, Ohio State might learn what really Hoosier hospitality is all about.
I love it.
What do you think of that one?
I love it. I'm impressed. What do you do for a living?
I'm an educator.
Okay, well there you go. You should. I hope you're teaching kids how to write like that. That's fantastic.
Well, I do my best every day. So yeah, just a passion. But that in Indiana basketball.
Yeah.
Here's my thought. I watched Purdue, as I'm sure you did, and they were outmanned. The defense from Iowa State disrupted them.
Yeah.
And that's what happened at Indiana tonight or this afternoon. I just think Louisville had bigger, faster, stronger, more athletic guys, and it was disruptive. I don't know if we have the team that I had hoped for. Here's my question. Gun to your head, and I'm not a violent guy, but is this a tournament team at this point? What do you think?
To this point in watching them in the last, well, you want to avoid recency bias because the last two games have obviously not been good. When they played Marquette and Baylor earlier in the year, they looked a lot better. What I keep coming back to is this team's lack of quickness, athleticism, and ability to finish at the bucket, and nobody who can really consistently create off the bounce. I also keep coming back to Reed Bailey transferred in from Davidson. Wilkerson is from Sam Houston State. Alexis is from Florida, but he also only played 1 minute during the NCAA tournament. Tayton Connerway is from Troy. Nick Dorn is from Elon. What you have is a bunch of guys who, just because it says Indiana on their chest, doesn't mean that they are Big Ten players. And that's exactly not a knock on those guys or guys that play at mid-major level, but when you're playing a team of all guys who have been recruited to play at a high level, you get what you got today. And so that to me is you have to scheme to get around that. And we saw Indiana do that after they dug the hole, but then they couldn't get out of the hole. And so that to me is going to be the challenge all year, is dealing with those warts that are part of this team.
Yeah. We for us to win consistently, we got to shoot it well from three, and boy, that's asking a lot, but I'll keep cheering, and hopefully tonight I'll still be up. Fall back if I am.
Please do.
I'll be watching the game. Thanks for everything, brother. Happy birthday, man.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
You bet, buddy. Bye.
812-393-2600 is the number. We are lines are now open. We had a couple extra people that dropped off. Love to hear from you. Again, this game was lost in the first 8 minutes, because when you dig that 16-0 hole and then you lose by 9, obviously there's an issue. And I also never felt that Louisville let off the gas. And if you look at it by the numbers here, Indiana shoots 41% versus 46% for Louisville. IU makes 26 field goals. Louisville actually made 25, so they made one fewer. But 24-28 from the free throw line for Louisville, 15 of 19 from the free throw line for the Hoosiers. Rebounds are 34-34. IU actually got more offensive rebounds than did Louisville. Scored 13 more second chance points, got more points off the bench, more points in the paint. All of that. IU 11 of 34 from three-point range. Louisville's 13 of 31. So at the end of the day, this game ends up on paper being pretty even. But obviously, those first 8 minutes, when you score, is important as well. And Indiana's defense just wasn't ready for the quickness and athleticism that Louisville brought to the floor. And that is something that I am concerned about for this upcoming season. And as we go forward and Indiana plays these teams that have the quickness, have the athleticism, to me, that's going to be a bit of a challenge for this ball club. 812-393-2600 is the number. Just looking at IU fans here on Twitter, everybody's obviously excited for the IU football game. If you want to talk pregame on IU football, I'm more than here for it. Please give us a call. But this is a matter of this team. Still, they're going to be inconsistent. This is a team that was cobbled together in April with a new head coach, and we cannot overlook that fact. I was concerned about this game because of the way Louisville plays, the fact they're coming off a loss, the fact that they had just don't have the size and athleticism and quickness and all of it. That they have to make threes to win. And Louisville's happy to go ahead and fire them up a ton as well, which, of course, led to the god-awful basketball that we watched, because it was just shot hunting. No real. It felt like pickup basketball so often. And I know that is me now being 52 years old and feeling that way about how this team plays. how basketball is played. Now, that said, this style of basketball is a modern style of basketball and is part of the part of what Indiana needed to go forward. The horses that they have, that balance that they have, because you want to have, a big guy that could score inside. You want to have guys who can knock down threes. You want to have guys who could create off the bounce. You need a couple of those guys at each position. And when you cobble together a roster the way that Darren DeVries had to, you have that. That's not to make any kind of excuses here. I'm just saying that Indiana is playing more of a modern style of basketball. I just want to see them do it with the efficiency that they had earlier in the season. And again, Louisville sped them up. That's part of it. Indiana with 14 assists on 26 made baskets, shoot 41.3% from the day on the game. But you just have to do a better job of being efficient with the basketball and taking your time. You have a team that jumps out to a big lead. You can't panic. You have to be like, all right, we have time to come back. There's a lot of basketball left to be played. And instead, that's not what happened. Indiana allowed itself to be sped up, and which led to turnovers and mistakes. 8 turnovers in the first half, just 5 in the second half. That makes a difference. Indiana shot 19% in the first half, just 10 of 32. That's a problem. 3 of 16 from three-point range. And I understand this is a three-point team that is going to also live and die with those three-pointers. But, they did continue to battle. They did cut into the lead time and time and time again, but that hole was just way too big. Scored 51 points after halftime. So, some answers are there, but being able to take it the next step, that's going to be your challenge. 812-393-2600 is the number. Lines are open. I want to hear from you. Again, this is the first of 2 shows today because we will have it after the Big Ten championship game. Looking forward to that. Let's talk about some of the individual performances for Indiana in this one. Reed Bailey, 8 points on 3 of 5 shooting. He gets 5 rebounds, 2 assists. He's +7 on the day. Just one of 2 players to be in the plus on the plus-minus column. Played just 23 minutes. And basically it had to do with his inability to finish around the basket. He's not strong enough. A lot of the Hoosiers, this entire team is way too soft around the rim. Way too soft around the rim. Go to the bucket hard. And they keep getting shots blocked, and they keep getting snuffed out there because they're not going as hard to the rim as they need to. And this is where, when you're soft around the rim, it's going to be problems in the Big Ten. And this is where I really worry about kind of this team having to learn that on the fly in a hurry. Because what allows you to finish and score around the rim when you are at Davidson or Sam Houston State or Troy is very different than what you have when you're dealing with the Big Ten. So that to me is the concern here. Lamar Wilkerson, 12 points on 5 of 15 shooting, just 2 of 9 from three-point range, 4 assists, had 2 turnovers and 2 steals in 36 minutes. Wilkerson is like Bailey in that he goes soft to the rim. He had a couple of acrobatic shots, but when you're one of the leading scorers, you have to be able to get to the free throw line, and Lamar Wilkerson played 36 minutes of this game and did not attempt a free throw attempt. That is something that stands out in a game like this. You had Tucker DeVries, 26 points on 5 of 14 shooting, 4 of 11 from three-point range. He did go to the free throw line 13 times and converted 12 of them. He had 5 assists to go with 3 turnovers in 35 minutes. He was just -1. He ran into some foul trouble as well. That's part of the equation for him. But DeVries is one of those guys that ain't the quickest guy around and has to create some or get his shots come off of movement and his own movement and the ball swinging around the perimeter. When he goes to the basket, he's done a good job of getting the free throw line. He needs to keep that up, but he's also a better option as a driving as the kick guy on the drive and kick. Connor Enright, 2 points on 1 of 5 shooting, fouled out. He had 4 assists versus 1 turnover, was minus 12 in 34 minutes. Enright spends a lot of time on the ground. And I know that's his style, to dirty things up and do all of that, but I'm would like to see him just stay a little bit stronger and stay on his feet a little bit more. Rounding out the starting lineup, Tatum Connerway, 5 points on 2 of 7 shooting, 0 of 2 from three-point range. He gets to the free throw line just twice, 3 rebounds and an assist, 5 turnovers in 21 minutes, 4 fouls. Really wasn't a factor. So those are your starters. We'll look at the bench in just a few minutes, but first I wanted to welcome our next caller. Caller, if you have your name, where you're from, and what you got.
Hi, Ken. Kevin Mahar, Midland, Michigan.
Hi, how are you doing?
Talked to you before.
Yeah. How you doing, man?
Good. I'm freezing is what I'm doing.
Oh.
It is cold.
Well,
and
it's
a
December.
Lot of snow. Lots of it.
Yeah.
It's okay. The way it is. Just 2 things. First thing is we got bullied. We got out-toughed. We were really soft today, and I think that's a fair statement. I cannot tell you how many times between Sam, Alexis, and Bailey going to the hole, it just seems like if they just touch the ball, it's coming out of their hands.
Yep.
I don't know how. They're weak. I mean, I maybe there's no other way to describe it. Because we literally, even as badly as we played, if you look at the opportunities for layups that we had today, that we missed, and this looked like Woodson's teams. Missed layups.
You want the actual stat on that? You want the actual stat?
Oh, yeah, we had to miss at least 6 or 7 layups.
8 of 18.
Okay, so you make half of those layups that you missed, we win the ball game. Now the other thing, and I just can't. I think that Coach DeVries has got. You get back tonight. I think you just run the stadiums till you drop, and then you get on the floor and you beat the heck out of each other. We just got bullied, and we did not stand up to it. The second thing that bothers me is this. I'm getting sick and tired of Indiana playing games when it's non-conference major opponent, and it's always their officials. ACC. You watch Michigan playing non-conference games, it's with Big Ten officials. Michigan State today played Duke, Big Ten officials. Scott Dolson cannot give a contract up to somebody unless it's going to be our officials. Enough's enough here. I mean, because I'll tell you what, and I'm not saying they were terrible today, but boy, I'll tell you what, there were more than our fair share of what the heck kind of no call was that,
Yeah.
And he's got to protect his team, and he's going to say, you're coming here, we're not bringing your ACC, because everybody knows we play physical ball in the Big Ten, but there's certain crews that are bad. If you play an SEC team, especially in football, we know this, and it's SEC officials hang on for dear life.
Right.
So I think Scott Dolson's got to change that. He just can't give away. Well, we're going to play you, but bring in our officials. That can't happen anymore.
At the very least, it's a physical brand of basketball in the Big Ten. Indiana does not play a physical brand of basketball right now.
No, not at all. And you look at we played Kansas State, pretty physical, pretty tough. Since then, I don't know what's happened. We've gone into a funk. I think Wilkerson's in a funk right now. I really do, and he's got to get out of it in a hurry. It's good to see Doran go crazy today, and he's going to get more playing time. He's getting healthier, and I think you made another point too. And you look at Enright on the floor. You look at Conaway today, and we didn't play good defense. We left that McNeely kid. He had a chance to eat a sandwich before he took those threes. There was nobody within 15 miles of him.
Yeah.
We're just all of a sudden it's just like we're totally discombobulated. I don't know if this game bothered them, if they were timid going in. You know what? This is a game you got to love to play. And if you can go head to head with these guys, you can play. I think our team is better. I really do. I like the hustle in the second half. And your point, 8 of 18 layups. And
Yeah.
of those 8-10 we missed, Alexis and Bailey had to be responsible for at least 6 of them. So
Well,
we get some things straightened out. This team could do some things.
And this has been, the whole thing that you mentioned about getting the ball knocked away. You don't necessarily lose it, but it's and they're not loose with the ball, but they aren't strong with the ball either. And that is something that has even happened in the directional school games. Is they were running into that problem where they were fumbling the ball a little bit. Hey, you have to go and you got to get the ball and hold on to it and go strong to the bucket. And that is the biggest area I think Indiana needs to improve is just decide, you know what, I'm going to play, rough and tumble and just be harder around the bucket.
Well, and that maybe the strength conditioning coach might want to change some things and say we got to change what we're doing here because we're weak and we're soft. And I think that's not a derogatory statement. That just is a fact. You can see it out there.
Yeah.
And those guys got to get stronger. They better get their. I can't say that word on the air. I won't say it.
Oh, we're not on the radio. You can say they got to get their ass going. Yeah, absolutely. We're on the internet, baby. We can say whatever the hell we want.
They got to get their ass in the damn weight room.
Yeah.
And get to work. But there's some things there. I was just really upset with the weakness on Labs and just how weak we were for the first 30 minutes of the game.
Yeah.
Soft. Then all of a sudden, here we go. And we fought the last 10 minutes. So anyway, that's my thoughts.
Well, I wanted to. You mentioned you mentioned Wilkerson being in a little bit of a rut. I'll run you through that. Against Bethune-Cookman, he was 1 of 8. Against Minnesota, he was 2 of 6. So that's 3 of 14. And in this one, he was 2 of 19. So he's 5 of his last 23 from 3-point range. So that's the bad news. The good news is water does find its level. And so even though on the season he's shooting 40.4%, which is obviously good, at some point you're going to start to get more of like the Milwaukee, he was 5 of 6, Marquette, he was 6 of 10. Those will come back to even things out. He's in a bit of a rut, but we also know that he can knock down those shots. And I think that at least makes me feel a little bit better. But again, if you're going to the bucket, you got to go strong.
Well, I would tell you this. I think that he's got to come back because everybody's got the book on us right now. Get in their face, get physical with them, knock them around, and they'll wilt. And I'm saying that just from what we've seen the last couple of games. And I'm concerned about the Penn State game. We should beat Minnesota. The Penn State, we should beat them. We got better talent. We do better, and it's at our place. But if we don't respond physical to physical, and we have to, and get up in people's faces all across the board, and people realize, hey, we get after Wilkerson, we can get Tucker DeVries pissed off because we get physical with them, and we get into these messes. It's going to be a long, long season for us. I agree with you. Water does find its level, but it's got to find it quick for us right now.
Yeah.
We're not in a situation where we've got games to play. We don't have that play because we can run ourselves out of the NCAA tournament real fast over the next 2 weeks. Careful. Yeah,
you have to stand up and you have to meet the moment right now, and that's what the Hoosiers need to do.
Hey, appreciate it. Have a great day.
All right,
stay warm.
I appreciate it. You too. 812-393-2600 is the number. Waiting very patiently, hoping to hear from Darren DeVries here. It's a little bit odd because, at a normal Big Ten game, we know exactly how it's going to go. At Gainbridge Fieldhouse, it could be a little bit different, but we're counting on Jared Kelly and Jeff Rabjohns and those guys to be able to get the video up. It just takes a little bit of time. It's a little bit different. Excuse me, on the road, as I go ahead and hold back a burp because I'm a professional. But want to hear from you. 812-393-2600 is the number. You also have IU football, obviously, coming up at 8 o'clock. So what we have here, this wasn't a great game for the Hoosiers. They didn't play well. Neither team played very well. But you do have something to brighten your day. Purdue got hammered. Don't worry too much about Purdue, but these games do happen where you have teams that are good, that struggle. So there's a lot to clean up. No question about that. At least you didn't get hammered by 23 points on your own floor by when you're the number one team in the nation. But still, a lot to clean up. And Indiana is, the caller was exactly right. They've been just way too soft around the rim. We talked about the starters before the last call. Let's talk about the bench. Off the bench, Nick Dorn had himself a really nice game, and that was really great to see. 15 points and 5 of 7 shooting, 5 of 7 from three-point range. So he made nearly half of Indiana's three-pointers in this one. He adds 5 rebounds, 1 turnover in 16 minutes. He's +9 on the day. I feel like he could move into the starting lineup at some point this season. We'll have to see who he would replace in that situation, but I know that they're bringing him along slowly to coming off the injury. So we hope to see his minutes start to increase a little bit more. Trent Sisley, 4 points on 2 of 3 shooting. He had 1 rebound in 17 minutes. He was -19 on the day. Sam Alexis, 6 points on 3 of 7 shooting, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 16 minutes. He was -16 on the day. So those two guys, and Alexis is interesting because I have talked before about the possibility of him moving into the starting lineup and just seeming to be a little bit stronger, a little bit more prepared to deal with some of the physical play that the Hoosiers are going to see in a way that Reed Bailey isn't. Reed Bailey also doesn't seem to be playing the same game that he did when he was at his previous stop at Davidson, when he was more of a stretch 4. So I'm wondering how long it's going to be before we see some tinkering with that starting lineup. I know you want to get some continuity going early in the season. You want to find what works. Bailey was subbed out of the game real early in this one in favor of Alexis. We'll see. That's a Darren DeVries situation. We have to see what he can do. The interesting thing to me had to do with Dorn coming off the bench. He plays 6 minutes in the first half. 10 minutes in the second half, was far more aggressive in the second half. So I want to know why that is. You're on the floor, make an impact. To me, that is really an important part of this equation. 812-393-2600 is the number. Got another caller. Caller, have your name, where you're from, and what you got.
Hey, Ken. Jeremy Hood, Seymour, Indiana. I'm downtown. Wasn't able to make the basketball game. Got to watch it on TV. Going to the football game. Talk me down right now.
Well, it's hard to talk you down because Indiana, I mean, if you're looking for a silver lining, 51 points in the second half. Nick Dorn looked, better than we've seen him. Indiana, didn't roll over. And after watching years of 20-point losses with Mike Woodson, I feel better at that. But that is very much so a just looking for silver lining situation. I want this team to be stronger going to the bucket. I want them to just be more efficient on offense. But there's no solving the lack of size and athleticism and quickness this year. There just isn't. So to me, this team's going to have to make threes and run their offense and be patient, make teams play their tempo in order to win. And obviously, Louisville didn't do that, especially early.
One last question, Ken.
Yeah.
In the era of free agency, should a tournament appearance be an expectation for a first-year coach?
I don't know about the word expectation. That one worries me. With Indiana's resources and everything that goes along with it, I don't worry as much about that first year. And the reason being, yes, it's different than it used to be. There's no question about that. And at Indiana, the expectation of the bare minimum is make the NCAA tournament. Given the resources Indiana has in terms of NIL money and everything else that goes along with it, yeah, there's that expectation, and it's a fair expectation, I suppose. Doesn't mean if you miss it, it's a failure. You want to see progress from one year to the next, and it takes time to build that foundation of how and culture of how you want a team to play. But there's no question that given those resources, given the age of this group, that you would hope that they'd be able to go to the NCAA tournament. But I think we're going to see a lot of, up and down performances this year for the reasons that we've talked about already.
Ken, in my heart of hearts, IU's going to win this game tonight. How about yours?
I've said this, that, and I said this on the Peegs podcast, the preview that I did, that until they beat Ohio State, the scarred IU alum in me says that they're not going to beat them. However, I do think that this year is the first year in which I felt that they don't have to play perfect to beat them. I think that the field is a lot more level in this one. And so I do think Ohio State's going to win it if I had to make a prediction, but Indiana's going to have every opportunity as long as they keep it close going into the fourth quarter. And after the game, we're going to be doing another call-in show, so please call back in.
One last request. Yeah. Next Saturday, IU basketball at Rupp Arena with the Heisman Trophy Award ceremony that night. Could we get the post-UK call-in show to time up with the Heisman Award ceremony, Ken?
Oh, I'll have to see about that. I haven't even looked at Kentucky yet because we've been dealing with the Big Ten tournament. But if it lines up well, it'd be really great. So,
hey, God bless. We love you, brother. Take care.
I appreciate it. Take care. Very nice callers today. That's good. People are still in a good mood. That is also good. Because obviously, this is a big day for IU football and IU basketball. Biggest day in biggest game in IU football history. That's what I wrote about earlier this week on Peegs.com, and I hard believe it because of everything that has gone into this season, the history of this program. Everything that goes along with it. It's never been bigger than it is right now. We finally have some video of, or the audio at least, from Darren DeVries' press conference following the game versus Louisville. So let me go ahead and pull that up and let us hear what Darren DeVries had to say. Here's Darren DeVries during his post-game press conference following IU's loss to Louisville at Gainbridge Fieldhouse.
Yeah, Coach, I guess in your eyes, how much of this is the difference in 3-point, the points from three versus how much some guys maybe learned how hard you really have to go every possession from the get-go?
Yeah, I thought even early, to be quite honest with you, we were battling this offensively. We couldn't, they did a really good job early defensively. We couldn't get loose. We couldn't get, a lot of space. When we were competing defensively, we just when you're not scoring, it makes it really challenging. You're down, I think it was 16-0, 16-2 against a team like that. That's tough because I think they're really good. I think they do a really good job offensively of making you pay when you make mistakes, and defensively, I thought we gave great effort, but there was a few mistakes that we made. They made us pay, and then I thought defensively they were really hooked up tonight. I thought they did a good job of making things tough and challenging, and we had some moments where we were able to break free and get loose a little bit, but overall it was just too big of a deficit to overcome.
And after that first 6 minutes, do you see things you look at and go, okay, these are things that we can carry forward or not?
Yeah, there's plenty of positives. Like every game, there's positives, there's negatives. I thought our ability to continue to fight was good. If you give into it at all on a team like that, then you can be down 30 or 40 pretty quickly because they can do that to you. So I thought our guys' composure, even after the rough start, they continued to just battle and chip away, and we were able to get it down to, I believe, 8 or 10 in the second half and put it right there, and then unfortunately they pushed it right back again. So we could just never quite get over that hump to get us within a couple possessions.
Zach and then Al. I guess kind of to follow on that, Darren, it seemed like Minnesota had some success with this too. Just
Oh no, Darren DeVries just said get us over the hump. Oh, somebody's got to talk to him about that. Okay, back to the presser.
Really overplaying the 3-point line and kind of not giving you space there. How do you, as you talk about sort of, how do you shake free of that? How do you make a team back off like that, and kind of what wasn't working on that maybe in these last couple games in terms of making a team back off defending the perimeter the way they did.
Yeah, I mean, if teams are going to get up and challenge you, it's you have to be able to, get to the rim, and different ways to do that. But if they're pressed out, taking away threes, you have to be able to, drive and get to the rim and finish. Drive, get to the rim and get fouled, or back cuts. Those are other ways that you can put pressure. I thought, Louisville did a good job of taking those away because we tried to get to some of those actions as well, with them pressuring us the way we did. In the second half, we opened the floor up a little more, got a little more dribble penetration, got to the rim a little bit, got to the free throw line more, just by playing in space. Those are some different ways that you try to beat it.
Alex and this.
Obviously, hard to win when you give up 87 points and they make 13 threes. I mean, what did you see just in terms of the quality looks that they were getting from the three-point line? Was there any consistent theme in terms of how they were getting free for some of those looks?
I thought we did a really good job on Brown especially. Conwell at moments we did a really good job. They're two really good players, and then you have McNeely, and he's the one that hurt us the most. Not that the other guys didn't, but McNeely's the one we lost a few times. He's the one we made the most mistakes on, and as a guy like that, like he's elite. When he's got space, he's going to make them. So. That's what I talked to the team about. Like, we did a lot of really good stuff. Those 3, 4, 5 mistakes that we made on McNeely, he made them, and that's something we just got to learn from. Continue to just prioritize, like, why every possession, every guy on the roster, no matter what they're running. Hey, here's A, here's B, here's C. Like, those guys, they all have played their roles really well tonight. I thought he hit some really big ones. At times that just when we were starting to climb back into it, he was the guy that pushed it back up.
Isn't it, Daniel?
Yeah, with the fouls, I mean, Tatum only played 21 minutes. Here, Darren. Tatum kind of only played, I think it was 21 minutes, only 8 in the first half. Foul trouble, obviously. But how much does that change the complexion of the game when you guys kind of had continual kind of foul trouble? Guys having to be careful, even if they don't come off the floor, just playing through it.
Yeah, I think for Tatum, I don't know if he ever got into the flow of the game. You got a couple fouls, you had to come sit. We had to try to protect him the whole first half, and never really got into a good flow. And he is the one guy that we talked about with that pressure that has the ability to with his speed to be able to get downhill, get to the rim, get to the free throw line, make plays for others. So. That was unfortunate that he picked up those 2 quicker early fouls.
Daniel and Seth.
How do you feel like you guys handled responding after that loss on Wednesday? And were there any kind of signs or tells that maybe you guys weren't in a great headspace at all?
No, I thought our approach today was great. I thought our guys, we competed really hard. We did. Were we perfect? No. But I got told the team before the game, is like every night you line up, like you just leave it out there and give everything you got for that 40 minutes as an individual and as a team. There'll be nights that may not even be good enough. And I'm not saying there wasn't plenty of other things we could have gotten better at and corrected tonight, but we competed. Like our guys played their tails off. They left it out there. I was proud of them from that standpoint. Was there things that we could have done better? Yeah, absolutely. I liked the way we approached the game. I liked our mindset. I liked our toughness, physicality. I thought, that's what we need to do every night.
Seth and Zach.
Tucker, what do you guys need to do to avoid the sort of slow start you guys had tonight? Is it just a mentality thing? Is it kind of the way you guys approached the beginning of the game? I guess, what do you guys need to change there?
I mean, I thought, kind of like he said, they came out, ready to play. And to be honest, I thought we played really hard and a lot harder. But there's certain things execution-wise, or just really being dialed in on the defensive end. Like he kind of said, the defensive mistakes wasn't really a lack of effort or physicality. It was just some of those mistakes we got to clean up. And then changing the beginning of the game could have changed a lot of things, because I thought as we settled in, we played a lot better after that first kind of run from them.
Zach?
Coach, specifically, especially against a backcourt like this, what more are you looking for from your guards out there?
On the defensive end, or
both offensively and defensively in a backcourt matchup like this?
Yeah, defensive end. Again, I thought those guys did a really good job. I mean, Brown's getting, he's getting drafted. He's probably a top 5 pick. Ryan Conlow's their leading scorer. He's a really good player. And then you talk about, McNeely as the third guy that you got to worry about from a shooting standpoint. Like, they just put a lot of pressure on your defense from stretching you out, and also, hey, I got to be able to contain these 2 guys that can really take you off the bounce. So I thought the guards really fought. Especially doing a good job, and I know Conroe got some free throws there late and stuff, but overall they did a really good job. We just lost McNeely a few times, and then I even thought, you're picking and choosing something. Their 2 bigs hit a couple of threes in the first half, just things that are, you're probably living with, but they made them. So that's those are part of that stretch of getting us down and behind. Those things are hard to overcome against really good teams.
Anything else? Back row.
Coach, how about the spark you got from Dorn? He's done it now a couple of times. Is that something you think he could consistently do for you?
Yeah, Nick's a really good shooter. He's starting to work his way back, doing some good things, starting to get more and more comfortable. He just hasn't practiced very long. He's been out there, 2.5, 3 weeks, so he's starting to find his feel and his rhythm and things like that. And his game legs are starting to come. So I thought he did a really good job of staying with it there. And in the second half, was able to get free and give us at least a fighter's chance, with a couple minutes to go. You just never know what something can happen, but he at least kept us close enough to maybe it could have got really interesting.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thank you all. So
there's Darren DeVries during the post game. Again, I put out the last call for phone calls. DeVries, again, he said get us over the hump. That always is going to make everybody cringe for a little while. But also, I think that, as a coach, there are calculated moments in what you do. And, he's talking about the good things, focusing on things beyond those first 8 minutes, and where this team is as a group, as they are 9 games into the season. I guess he just doesn't feel like he needs to rake them over the coals. Let's focus on the positives and knock the negatives and all of that. So I feel like that's how he approached this. It'll be interesting once they come back to Assembly Hall next time out, what that attitude is against Penn State. But it was not a pretty game, to say the least. And he mentioned, the different stars for Louisville. All 4 of the 5 Louisville starters scored in double figures, and the 4th starter scored 9 points. So, you got to do a better job of closing out the best players. A 9-point loss on a neutral court to the number 6 team in the country isn't the end of the world. There's a lot to clean up, but it's another step for this team. And no one wants to see, give up 87 points, but they did score 51 in the second half. So there's that, and an 87-78 loss to Louisville. Now, of course, all the attention turns towards Ohio State and Indiana for the game that will kick off at 8 p.m. Eastern at Lucas Oil Stadium. Huge day in Indianapolis. And again, I will be live on the air after the game, taking your phone calls, talking IU football. Big day. I'm happy to do it. If you're wondering why the hell I'm not in Indianapolis, it is because I'm gun shy from after the Oregon game when we had a problem with doing the show remote. The idea of trying to of setting up remote broadcasts from basketball and football afterwards and where we're going to do it and all that kind of stuff. I want a solid show for you guys. And so I'm in the home studio. That's what the decision that was made. So we're doing that. And we will be live on the air immediately following the Big Ten championship game, win or lose. Should be an exciting game. We got a little bit of time to relax in between. So feel free to go to Peegs.com, check out the coverage that we have for that, all the previews. Listen to the Peegs podcast where I broke down this game pretty solidly. Hear from Kurt Signetti in the podcast. Check it out. We'll be back on the air in probably for this one, probably about 11:30, I'm guessing. 11:30 right there. We're definitely going after midnight for sure. But so we got about 6 hours and see what kind of day this is for the Hoosiers. So looking forward to it. Well, that's all the time we have in the Peegs Postgame Live. I want to thank you for listening. I want to remind you to visit Peegs.com for the very best in IU football and basketball coverage you're going to find anywhere. Nobody covers Hoosier recruiting better than Jeff Rabjohns, Matt Weaver, Trevor Andershock, and Jared Kelly. So come be a part of a thriving and exciting community at Peegs.com. Folks, you are not going to be disappointed. Folks, we're out of time, but for now, and for Jeff, Matt, Trevor, and Jared, I'm Ken Bykoff saying thanks for listening, everybody.